If you've ever spent time exploring the online drumming community, you've probably encountered the Drummer World forum or like the drums subreddit. And one of the most common sentiments I see is very anti-chops. If you're doing anything more than just holding a basic groove, then you're just an arrogant jerk. You're not serving the music. Just shut up and play pocket or go home. And 99% of these self-proclaimed pocket drummers are just gatekeepers that probably don't play nearly as well as they think they do, and they need to air their frustrations in the form of telling other people that the way they play is wrong, and that's just dumb as hell. When I was like 15, 16 years old and YouTube was in its earlier stages, I loved watching videos of chop breakdowns. Not necessarily because I wanted to steal these licks note for note and use them, but I found that it was really, really helpful in getting me to expand my vocabulary and move in different paths around the drums and just explore different combinations that I didn't think to try on my own. So today, I'm going to break down a really self-indulgent, arrogant, not a lot of musical utility kind of chop, but it's made entirely of these little bits of vocabulary that can very easily be repurposed into other contexts. So the chop sounds like this. Maybe that sounds aimless, but there's structure to it. So I think of this phrase as A, B, C. We'll think of this as two measures of 16th notes just for the sake of analysis, but you could also think of it as one measure of 32nd notes. So the two A chunks, it's the same pattern that I play twice, and that pattern is left, right, left, right, left, right, kick, kick. Ascending, so going counterclockwise up the toms. The B chunk is also 8 strokes long. It starts with a unison between the snare drum and the bell of the ride cymbal. So that phrase is both kick, left, right, kick, left, right, kick. And the C chunk is also 8 strokes long, and it occurs just between the kick, snare, and floor tom, and it begins with the kick. So it is kick, both, kick, right, left, kick, right, left. And instead of hitting both hands in perfect unison, I'm actually playing a left flam there. So the floor tom is going to hit a split fraction of a second before the left hand on the snare drum. And that C chunk on its own sounds like this. Now we just have to put all of those pieces together. So the phrase is A, B, C. So we have that ascending tom-tom thing twice. Then the B chunk between the bell of the ride cymbal and the snare and the kick. And then the C chunk between kick, snare, and floor tom. Now, since the B chunk ends with a kick and the C chunk begins with a kick, we will have 2 kicks in a row pretty quickly in there. So just watch for that. But the whole phrase sounds like this. Yeah, chances are you're not going to bust this phrase out at a bar gig or a wedding gig or something, but think about everything that goes into this phrase. It has a clearly defined form, A, B, C, which is a really common thing in music. It has us starting with the left hand and moving in a counterclockwise direction. A lot of drummers only start fills with their right hand, and a lot of their ideas only go this way, so maybe that's something a little different than you're used to. It uses quite a few different voices of the drum set, like the bell, the ride cymbal. That's always a fun thing to throw into a chop. And it's just some good linear vocabulary, so it gets your hands and feet more staggered together. And like I mentioned at the beginning, these little chunks could be reordered or repurposed into different phrases and combinations. While the phrase in its entirety might not be the most musical thing in the world, the vocabulary that makes it up has tons of musical utility, and if anything, maybe it'll inspire you to try out some different things you wouldn't have thought to try otherwise. If you like what you saw in this video, check out my Patreon page. Your support grants you access to transcriptions for this video, as well as transcriptions for all my other lesson videos. And follow me on Instagram @DrummerHard to see more videos of my playing. As always, thanks for watching and see you next time.